And woe unto you if that vehicle ends up in an accident. Ruto wants to treat insurance compensation as income and introduce a 16% VAT on it. Insurance compensation will no longer be seen as compensation of what was lost. My car had an accident. The insurance company sends an assessor, assesses the extent of damage, which most of the times is under assessment. I'm paid compensation to go and repair my car. I have to pay a tax on that compensation. This I don't know what kind of arithmetic it is. It is the same story with per diems, mileage and travel allowance of public officers. Per diem will now be treated as an income and attract a 30% income tax. I used to be a civil servant, and per diems were based on the costs of living in the country you are traveling to. That's why it differed from Tokyo, Oslo, New York, Accra, Cairo, and so on. And whatever you did not use, you are required to retire on return. Now it is an income that you must pay 30% on. You could go on, and it will be tax after tax. Looking at the proposals, one cannot help asking, what planet does Ruto live on? Does he understand what Kenyans are going through? Let me turn briefly to the question of how did we find ourselves here? The official lie is that Kenya Kwanza inherited a broke country. The truth is, the cash crunch has been caused by economic mismanagement, wasteful spending, corruption, and the hiring of incompetent personnel. This worsening economic situation has been manufactured in State House and the office of the President in the last 8 or so months. Government's own data indicates that contrary to what Ruto promised and what he is saying, borrowing has gone up instead of coming down. But strangely, the cash crunch continues. In September 2022, when Uhuru Kenyatta officially handed over to Ruto, Kenya's total debt was 8.701 trillion. I repeat, 8.701 trillion. Of this, 4.33 trillion was external debt, while 4.366 was domestic debt. As of March 2023, to 4.539 in March 2023. We can go further back to the year 2021. Between September 2021 to March 2022, that a comparable period, our debt rose by 405 billion, from 7.9 6 trillion to 8.401 trillion. External debt was at 4.209 trillion, while domestic debt stood at 4.192 trillion. This was the time Kenya was struggling with the impacts of COVID-19, including implementation of subsidies and the emerging war in Ukraine. But our total debt was still lower than what Ruto has incurred in 6 months' time. Kenya Kwanza